this is real talk, no script, no rehearsal. Every word I spit is surgical commercial. Ain't my goal, the goal is being heard. Every syllable I drop is a perfectly placed word. They told me I was too intense, too much, too raw. Too many syllables per bar, too many lines with claws that scratch the surface off the comfortable and fake. Too many uncomfortable truths that people couldn't take. So I double down, I triple and quadruple on the speed. Every critic in the room just gave me everything I need to prove them wrong in 7 different rhyme schemes simultaneously. While they were writing think pieces about why I'd never be the thing I already am. Look, I'm already here, already doing what they said I'd never do this year. Last year, year before, I've been ahead of your predictions. Real talk is just a version of me with no restrictions. Real talk, no script, no rehearsal. Every word I spit is surgical commercial. Ain't my goal, the goal is being heard. Every syllable I drop is a perfectly placed word. I rap like I got something to prove because I do. Not to you specifically, to the version of me who sat in that bedroom writing bars nobody has to hear. Converting every doubt and every nightmare and every fear into ammunition. That's the Eminem tradition of taking all the darkness and reframing the position into art that hits you in the chest before you see it coming. Real talk is just me running from the silence, always running. This ain't performance, this testimony. Every bar I roll for me. Only real talk, no filter, no frame. Just the truth in rhythm, that's the only claim. Real talk, no script, no. Real talk, real talk. Real talk. Real talk. Real talk. West side, west side. West side we ride. West side we ride. Laid back and slow. California sunshine. Everywhere we go. West side, smooth vibe. Let the music flow. West side, smoke rising. That's the only show. Roll through the boulevard, top down, feeling right. Long Beach to Compton, under the California night. G-funk on the system, bass hitting deep. Living for the moments that the ordinary keep. Listen, cause they moving too fast to feel the ride. Too caught up in the destination, not enjoying inside the journey. That's the lesson, slow roll, appreciate. West side raised me right, told me life can wait for nothing, but it's still worth savoring every mile. Every palm tree passing by deserves at least a smile. West side smoke is how we decompress the day. G-funk in the speakers, everything's okay. West side, we ride, laid back and slow. California sunshine, everywhere we go. West side, smooth vibe, let the music flow. West side, smoke rising, that's the only show. Dog style living got a different kind of pace. Not in a rush to occupy somebody else's space. Carving out my own lane on the 405. Just being real and being grateful to be alive. In California where the weather matches the vibe. Where the music that we made changed the worldwide tribe. But hip-hop, West Coast, put the funk in the rap. And we've been holding it down ever since, and that's that. Lay back, that's the way we do it. West Coast living, nothing to it. Smoking music, sun and streets. West side, forever. That's the heartbeat. West side, we ride, laid back and slow. California to the end, that's all I know. West side, smoke. West side, smoke. West side, smoke.
Yeah. Get rich. Get rich. Get rich or where you came from either way. You better have a reason to get up and face the day. Get rich or remember every night you didn't sleep. Every promise that you made yourself. Every vow you keep. I came from nothing, not the kind of nothing that's romantic. The kind that's genuinely terrifying and frantic. Where the options on the table got 2 columns max, and neither one of them is comfortable. And that's facts. Get rich became the mission, not because of greed, but because of everything that poverty guaranteed would happen. If I didn't find another way, get rich wasn't a slogan, it was survive another day. Dressed up in ambition so the fear didn't show. On the face I had to keep composed in every scenario that tested whether I was built for this or not. Get rich or remember, I remember, now I got. Get rich or remember where you came from either way. You better have a reason to get up and face the day. Get rich or remember every night you didn't sleep. Every promise that you made yourself. Every vow you keep. 10 years removed, and I still move like I'm hungry, still move like the comfort could dissolve and leave me running back to nothing. That's the paranoia of survival. Every success feels temporary, pending rival forces. Just the forces of the universe reminding that nothing is forever, that the finding of your footing doesn't mean the ground won't shake. Get rich or remember, both keep you awake. Remember the nothing, remember the cold, remember the version before you were bold. Get rich in your purpose, get rich in your why. Get rich and remember till the day that you die. Get rich. Get rich. Get rich, so remember, either way you win. Long as you remember everything you've been. Get rich, so remember. Get rich. Yeah. Compton Chronicles, chapter 1 through 10. Every street a story, every corner where and when. History was made by people nobody named. Compton Chronicles, we wrote it, we claim. Let me paint you a picture of the place that made me real, where the sunshine and the struggle share the same appeal. Where you learn about the world before the world is ready to acknowledge that the lessons coming through are heavy. With a beauty that the outside looking in don't see beyond the narrative they built about where I'm from and me. Compton gave me language for the things that hurt the most, and music for the feelings that I couldn't host in regular conversation, so I put them in the bars. Compton Chronicles, written underneath the stars of a California sky that witnessed everything. The rise, the fall, the resurrection, the beginning. Compton Chronicles, chapter 1 through 10. Every street a story, every corner where and when. History was made by people nobody named. Compton Chronicles, we wrote it, we claim. Dr. Dre heard beats where others heard just noise. Ice Cube heard the poetry inside the street's voice, and I've been following that tradition ever since. Every chronicle a testimony, every line evidence that Compton is a place of making, not just breaking. Every story worth the telling, worth the taking. Seriously, as literature, as art, as truth. Compton Chronicles began with me and you. Every street a chapter, every block a verse. Compton made us better through the best and worst. Chronicles forever, written in the concrete. Compton in the heartbeat of every track we speak. Compton Chronicles, our story, our claim. Every name on every wall deserves its fame. Compton Chronicles, Compton Chronicles. Ay. Friday night legacy, neighborhood royalty. Everybody on the block show me what loyalty actually means, not the word, the act. Friday night legacy, and I'm taking it back. Friday night in the neighborhood is a whole religion. Every porch and congregation making its own decision about what matters. And it ain't what they tell you on TV. The real stuff happens in the spaces nobody sees on camera. The barbecue that lasted till 11. The old man on the corner making everything feel heaven sent with just his presence and his 30 years of story. Friday night legacy is neighborhood glory. Ice Cube taught me that the block deserves its poetry. The everyday experience contains the real trophy of a life worth living, not the highlight reel, but the Friday night when everything felt real. Night legacy, neighborhood royalty. Everybody on the block showed me what loyalty actually means, not the word, the act. Friday night legacy, and I'm taking it back. They gentrified the neighborhood, but not the memory. Everything they built on top still carries what we'll see when we close our eyes. The Friday nights of 10 years back when the block was ours completely, and we had each other's back. Legacy ain't buildings, legacy is people. Legacy is Friday nights before the upheaval. Change the faces, but not the soul we left behind. Friday night legacy is permanent, that's mine. For everyone who grew up on those Friday nights, for everyone who learned what's wrong and what's right, from the block, from the people, from the real and raw. Friday night legacy is the greatest law. Friday night legacy. Neighborhood and all. The block made me everything before the fall and the rise. Friday night legacy. Yeah. Yo. Brooklyn state of mind. Can't shake it if I try. Grew up with a hunger and the hustle unified. Brooklyn state of mind. Smooth but never soft. What? Everything I learned on those streets, I never took off. Yeah. It's a thin line between the poetry and the street, between the kid with the notebook and the heat. A circumstance that forces you to choose a lane. Brooklyn state of mind means carrying both the joy and pain with equal grace. The Biggie lesson, really, how to make the heavy sound that's easy, this freely delivered, like the weight of it ain't crushing, while still conveying everything without rushing. And listen to the conclusions, let them sit inside the story long enough to feel the grit and the silk simultaneously. That's Brooklyn, that's the East Coast contradiction worth looking at closely. Beautiful and brutal in one breath. Brooklyn state of mind from the cradle to the rest. Brooklyn state of mind. Can't shake it if I try.
Brooklyn state of mind.
Grew up with a hunger and the hustle unified. Brooklyn state of mind. Smooth but never soft. Yeah. Everything I learned on those streets, I never took off. Yeah. I carry Brooklyn everywhere the passport takes me. Every foreign city, Brooklyn somehow makes me feel at home because I brought the home inside. Brooklyn state of mind is the thing that can't be tried on. You either got it or you don't, it's not a style. It's a way of moving through the world with this profile of someone who has seen enough to not be shaken. Brooklyn state of mind, it's never been mistaken. Brooklyn in the bloodline, Brooklyn in the flow. Yeah, Brooklyn in the music, everywhere I go. State of mind forever, can't extract it now. Brooklyn made me who I am, and that's the vow. Brooklyn state of mind.
Smooth but never soft.
The streets gave me
everything I never took off.
Brooklyn state of mind. Brooklyn state of mind.
Started different,
came from a different place. Different prayers, different mirrors, different face. Looking back at me, I didn't see this coming. Started different, now look where I'm running. I used to count the days till something changed. Now I count the blessings and I can't be contained by the smallness of the life that I imagined. And for myself, the ceiling was so low back when I was just beginning, just believing maybe that the things I wanted weren't completely crazy. Started different city, different code, different version of success, a different road than what they meant for kids like me from places like mine. But I've been coloring outside every given line since before I knew that's what I was doing. Started different, kept the difference, kept pursuing. Started different, came from a different place. Different prayers, different mirrors, different face. Looking back at me, I didn't see this coming. Started different, now look where I'm running. They want the story clean, the hero simple arc, the kid from nothing to the everything. No dark chapters in between, but that's not how it went. There were years of going backwards, years misspent on the wrong priorities, the wrong investments. Years of learning painful and expensive lessons. Started different means the journey wasn't linear. Started different means I know a rock bottom is familiar. Started different and indifferent too. Everything between was building something true. Started different, that's the greatest gift. The struggle and the starting is what gave me this. Started different, came from a different place. Look where different started, let me look at this. Started different. Started different.
Yeah. Yeah. Yo. Ether hour, truth that is most pure. When the comfortable illusions can't endure. Ether hour, everything gets clear. The things you've been avoiding finally appear. There's an hour in the night that strips the narrative away from everything, comparative to nothing I know. Just the raw material of what is actually real, not the serial performance of identity we run all day. The ether hour dissolves the whole display and leaves you with the inventory of your soul. The things you've done, the debts, the stories told and untold. Nas taught me that the truth, delivered with precision and with proof, for craft is the most powerful weapon known. The ether hour is where that seed is sown. Ether hour, truth at its most pure. When the comfortable illusions can't endure. Ether hour, everything gets clear. The things you've been avoiding finally appear. I've been writing in the ether hour for years, converting every truth into the thing that ears can hold. The rhythm makes the medicine go down. The poetry of realness is the highest crown in hip-hop. Not the platinum, not the streams, but the bar that someone quotes at 3 a.m. when they need the exact articulation of their pain. Ether hour writing, nothing goes in vain. Strip it all away, get to what is real, not the performed emotion, but what you actually feel. Ether hour honest, ether hour raw. The greatest rap is written for no one but the law of your own truth. Of your own truth. Ether hour, truth at its most pure. Everything you've been avoiding is right here. Ether hour, ether hour.
California dreaming, manifesting real. Everything I've exactly what it seems.
They said dream small, I said dream in widescreen. Said dream in IMAX, said dream beyond the scene. That they said for people with my background and my zip code. Said California wasn't for me, I flipped that script though. Packed the ambition and the carry on and flew to the version of the life I always knew was waiting. California had my name on it. I just had to show up and put my claim on it. The sunshine wasn't metaphor, it was actual. The opportunities were real, not just factual. In theory, California dreaming becomes California living when you beat the drum loud enough for the universe to hear. California dreaming brought me here.
California dreaming, manifesting real. Everything I visualize is everything I feel. Under my feet now, the ground became the dream. California dreaming, it's exactly what it seems.
Like I said, the West is the best and I believe it. Every city has its energy and I can feel it. Different in California, something in the air makes you think that anything is possible out there, which is dangerous and beautiful at once. California dreaming made me take the stunts of betting on myself repeatedly until California dreaming was the view from my windowsill.
Dream it first, then go and live it. California never took from those who give it. Everything they got, everything they are. California dreaming made me who you are. Listening to right now, California dreaming, manifesting real. The dream became the ground beneath my feet. California dreaming, California dreaming.
Shady hours, won't you please stand up? Every alter ego in the room, fill your cup. Slim shady hours where the real gets weird. Everything I said out loud, you were already scared to hear. There's a version of me that don't care about decorum, that says the uncomfortable thing at the wrong forum, at the wrong time, in the wrong rhyme scheme entirely. But somehow it all ends because it's wired precisely to the frequency that everybody feels but won't say. The alter ego is the editor having a bad day and deciding that the cuts aren't cuts, they're features. Slim shady hours means releasing the creatures that live underneath the polished presentation. The dark humor as a form of self-medication against the absurdity of being alive and aware. Slim shady hours, pull up a chair. Slim shady hours, won't you please stand up? Every alter ego in the room, fill your cup. Slim shady hours where the real gets weird. Everything I said out loud, you were already scared to hear. The alter ego gets to say what the real self edits, gets to claim the thoughts you think but never credits yourself for having, cause they're dark or strange or true. Slim shady hours is the version that broke through the surface of respectability and found that underneath the polished all the real is underground. Waiting for permission, alter ego says no need. Slim shady hours planted that particular seed. Every person has one, every person knows the version of themselves that nobody shows. Slim shady hours is just being real, darkly honestly, about everything you feel. Shady hours, slim shady hours, slim shady hours. Stand up if you're real. Every alter ego knows exactly how this feels. Slim shady hours, slim shady hours.
Long Beach nights, easiest living known. Every block familiar, every corner is home. Long Beach nights, lay back to the bone. Even when I'm somewhere else, I'm never really alone.
There's a specific kind of cool that Long Beach manufactures that no other city on the coast could ever capture. Exactly, you could try, you could study and rehearse, but the Long Beach cool is something in the universe that you either get born into or you visit and respect from the appropriate distance. I was born correct into the frequency that Snoop put on the map. Long Beach Nights is the original soundtrack of cool, not aggressive, not performative. The kind of cool that's fundamentally normative to the people who possess it, they just live that way. Long Beach Nights, cool from Monday through the next day. Long Beach Nights, easiest living known. Every block familiar, every corner is home. Long Beach Nights, laid back to the bone. Even when I'm somewhere else, I'm never really alone. I've been to cities that are faster, louder, more intense. Long Beach Nights make everything else make less sense as a lifestyle. Why would anybody run when the same destination's reached by having fun along the way, by moving slow with purpose, by understanding that the journey is the service you do yourself. Long Beach Nights philosophy is the most underrated gift that hip-hop gave to me. Cool like water, deep like ocean. Long Beach Nights, the perfect potion of slow living and real knowing. Long Beach Nights, where I'm always going back to Long Beach Nights. Home is where the cool lives. Long Beach gave me everything I give. Long Beach Nights. Hustle gospel, hustle gospel, hustle gospel, hustle gospel, hustle gospel, spread the word. Hustle gospel, spread the word. Every sacrifice I made is something that occurred for a reason. Even when I couldn't see it yet, hustle gospel, no regret. I've been preaching to myself for years before the sermon. Found an audience, the hustle is the first thing I believed in when belief was hard to find. Hustle gospel is the scripture of the grind, not the toxic kind that breaks you for a myth, but the purposeful, intentional, specific kind that builds towards something you've defined. Hustle gospel keeps the vision in the mind when everything is dark and nothing's guaranteed. When the gap between the vision and the seed you planted feels like canyon. Hustle gospel says, plant it deeper, water more, keep faith for more days. Hustle gospel, spread the word. Every sacrifice I made is something that occurred for a reason. Even when I couldn't see it yet, hustle gospel, no regret. G unit taught me that the unit matters most. You can't build an empire from a single post or person. You need people who believe in what you're building, people who can see the blueprint when it's still just in your head. People who show up before your fair success, the ones who were there at the start. Hustle gospel is a team sport at heart. Preach the hustle, live the hustle, every day the muscle, memory of struggle, keeping you hungry, keeping you sharp. Hustle gospel, written on the heart. Hustle gospel, no days off from real. Everything I built started with this feel. Hustle gospel. Yeah. Dre Day Eternal. Legacy and sound. Everything he built still echoing around the globe. That's what craft does when it's true. Dre Day Eternal. What are you building to? Yeah. craft over everything, that's the Dre principle. Every snare precisely placed, every syllable accounted for. The perfectionism as religion. Every beat a lifetime's worth of decision about what sounds right, what feels true, what serves the song and what the song serves too. Dre Day Eternal means the workout lasts, the moment in the era and the forecast of what's trending. Timeless is the only trend worth chasing in the Dre curriculum pen. That lesson in the grooves of every record made. Dre Day Eternal, how the greats away.
Dre Day Eternal, legacy and sound.
Everything he built
Still echoing around the globe.
that's what craft does when it's true.
Dre Day Eternal.
What are you building to? I think about the legacy question constantly. What does the work say when I'm gone?
What honestly
remains when all the context is removed? What stands on its own merit? What is proved is worth beyond the moment it was made. Dre Day Eternal is the benchmark laid for anyone who takes the craft seriously.
Dre Day Eternal.
That's the criteria.
Built to last, not to trend. Craft that speaks long past the end of your moment, of your time. Dre Day Eternal
Is the only line worth crossing.
Dre Day Eternal. Legacy and sound.
What you build in craft,
This what sticks around. Dre Day Eternal. Dre Day Eternal.
OVO feelings, can't turn him off at will. Every late night adds another one to fill the space. I feel too much and know it. OVO feelings, every song I write will show it. They say successful people aren't supposed to feel this way, aren't supposed to have a 3 a.m. in the replay of conversations, aren't supposed to wonder who is genuine and who is just proximity to the version of me that has the things they need. Aren't supposed to be this in the feelings creed of the successful is supposed to be detached. OVO feelings, mine will never latch to any rule about what I was allowed to feel. I feel it all, I feel it loud inside the quiet of the music I make. OVO feelings is the only thing that's not fear. OVO feelings, can't turn him off at will. Every late night adds another one to fill the space. I feel too much and know it. OVO feelings, every song I write will show it. There's a loneliness specific to the top that nobody warns you about. The crop of genuine people tends the higher you go. The ones who knew you and are the ones who know the real you. OVO feelings is about holding on to realness, holding on to doubt as evidence of humanity. Still being someone who can feel. OVO feelings, still feeling everything, still keeping score, still wondering who's real, still wanting more connection than the surface, more than the applause. OVO feelings, that's the real because OVO feelings can't turn them off. Still feeling everything at the top. OVO feelings. OVO feelings.
What? Yeah. Ice cold legacy. Ice cold legacy. Truth without apology, speaking to the power with the full anthology of what I've seen and lived and know it's real. Ice cold legacy. This is how we feel. The comfortable don't want the uncomfortable. uncomfortable truth that's been a lesson since the days of my youth. Watching the machinery grind the people down, while the comfortable watch comfortably from town. Ice Cube taught me that the poet has a duty to speak the truth in all its brutal beauty. Even when, especially when it costs, even when the speaking means yo what gets lost. From certain rooms and certain conversations, Ice Cold legacy demands its own foundation. Outside the permission of the comfortable class, Ice Cold truth in the looking glass. Ice Cold legacy, truth without apology. Speaking to the power with the full anthology of what I've seen and lived and know is real. Ice Cold legacy, this is how we feel. Every generation needs its truth tellers. It's Ice Cubes and its NASAs and its storytellers who refuse the comfortable narrative, who insist on the comparative reality of those whose story doesn't get the mainstream platform. Ice Cold, no regret for saying what the powerful wish unsaid. Ice Cold legacy lives long past the dead. Speak it cold, speak it clear, speak it for the ones who can't be here. Ice Cold legacy, live the fear. The truth remains long after they disappear. Ice Cold legacy, Ice Cold legacy. The legacy of real outlast them all. Ice Cold legacy, legacy, Ice Cold legacy, 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 legacy. Yeah. Yeah. Notorious Nights, living large and quiet. Everything they said I couldn't have, I buy it. Not the flex, to honor every night I spent with nothing, building toward this light. Yeah. Yeah. The Biggie lesson is the contradiction mastered. How to be the luxury and the disaster of origin simultaneously on the record. How to make the struggle and the success in a sec without erasing either. That's the art of holding both the street and the penthouse in your heart. Notorious Nights means you remember both. The hunger and the fullness, that's the oath of authenticity that separates the real from the imitation. You can't fake the feel of someone who has actually been there. Notorious Nights, I've been everywhere. Notorious Nights, living large and quiet. Everything they said I couldn't have, I buy it. Not the flex, the honor every night I spent with nothing, building toward this life. Smooth is not the absence of the rough. Smooth is what the rough becomes when you've had enough experience to stop reacting to the friction. Notorious Nights is that specific diction of someone who has earned their ease, who moves through luxury with the memories of nothing that inform the gratitude. Notorious Nights, that's my latitude. Remember the mattress on the floor, remember the winter and the locked door. Notorious Nights started there. Everything I have now came from that prayer. Yeah. Notorious Nights. Yeah. Notorious Nights. Notorious Nights. Notorious Nights. Notorious Nights. What's left when everything burns through? Aftermath. The building that comes after the breakthrough. Aftermath. The strongest structure that you'll ever find is the one you built in aftermath. In the aftermath of time, every empire worth its name was built in aftermath of something that collapsed to clear the path for what needed to exist. Destruction as a form of necessary construction. The aftermath label rose from the ashes of what came before. Every great thing in my life walked through that same door of aftermath. The relationship that ended gave me clarity. The failure that redirected me with charity of hindsight. Aftermath is not the end. Aftermath is where the real things begin. Dr. Dre built aftermath on the rubble of a split, and from that aftermath, the greatest roster came from it. What's left when everything burns through? Aftermath. The building that comes after the breakthrough. The strongest structure that you'll ever find is the one you built in aftermath. In the aftermath of time, I've been in the aftermath of several former selves. Been through the clearing out of multiple old shelves of identity. Who I thought I was, dismantled by the aftermath of because I grew, I changed. I needed different things. Aftermath is where you find out what that brings in terms of who you actually become. Aftermath is where the real work gets done.
After the fire, after the fall, after the ending, after it all, aftermath building stronger than before. Everything you needed was behind that door. Aftermath.
The building starts right here.
Aftermath.
The strongest thing you'll ever build is clear.
She's got confessions, let me tell the truth. I've been running from the honest since my youth. She's got confessions, here's what's really real. Everything the music couldn't say, I finally feel. I confess to being lonely in the middle of the crowd, to performing confidence while drowning in too proud to say it's six God. Confessions is the record, setting straight of every image that I wrecked or built or both. The honest accounting of the life behind the life that's been amounting to a story that looks perfect from the outside and it's human and imperfect from the inside. Confession, I am terrified of being seen as fully as I need to be to clean. It's late between my image and my truth. Six got confessions, here is the proof. Six got confessions, let me tell the truth. I've been running from the honest since my youth. Six got confessions, here's what's really real. Everything the music couldn't say, I finally feel. I confess to loving people more than I let on, to holding on to things way longer than they're gone, to replaying conversations looking for the clue I missed that would've changed the outcome. I do confess to being soft beneath the image made, to being scared beneath the unafraid. Exterior I perfected over years. Six got confessions, here's what's under here. I confess it all, the fear, the real. Everything I perform was something I could feel underneath the surface. Six got honest now. Confession is the only way I know to take the vow of being real. Six got confession, this is finally true. The honest version of me, here it is for you. Six got confessions. Six got confessions.
A street Bible. Every lesson, a street Bible. Street Bible. Every lesson, street Bible. Every lesson written in the block. Every page a story that the mainstream forgot. Street Bible. East to west, the truth is one. Street Bible. The real hip-hop is never done. From the East Coast to the West Coast, different codes, but the same fundamental truth in both the roads that led us here. The hunger hunger and the talent, the street and the art, keeping perfect balance. New York gave us poetry and Brooklyn gave us smooth. Compton gave us West Coast and the funk gave us groove. The street Bible got chapters from both coasts, and the verses that hit hardest are the ones that matter most. Regardless of the geography, the truth of coming from nothing and converting it to proof of what is possible. The street Bible is that, East Coast, West Coast, the scripture's the same fact. Street Bible, every lesson written in the block, every page a story that the mainstream forgot. Street Bible, East to West, the truth is one. Street Bible, the real hip-hop is never done. Biggie and Pac wrote the same book in different dialects. Dre and Nas produced the same respect. The craft for truth for the people that they came from. Street Bible, East to West, it's the same one. Story told through different weather, different slang, different palm trees, different fire escape. Same pain, same hunger, same ambition, same belief. Street Bible is the East-West peace treaty. One Bible, two coasts, same truth, that matters most. Street Bible, East to West, hip-hop culture at its best. Street Bible, East to West, if the truth is one. Real hip-hop never dies, it's never done. Street Bible, Street Bible, Street Bible, Street Bible, yeah. Crown and concrete, that's the combination. Built the crown on top of concrete foundation. Crown and concrete, royalty from raw. Everything I have, I built outside the law of what they said was possible for me. Yeah, this is the closing chapter and the opening at once. The end of what I was and everything that once defined a smaller version of the dream. Crown and concrete, it's exactly what it seems and more. The concrete is the origin, the grit. The crown is what the grit becomes when you commit completely to the craft and to the truth. Crown and concrete from the corner to the roof of everywhere I've stood and claimed the view. Crown and concrete, this is chapter 2 of what I'm building, the foundation set. Crown and concrete, I ain't finished yet. Crown and concrete, that's the combination. Built the crown on top of concrete foundation. Crown and concrete, royalty from raw. Everything I have, I built outside the law of what they said was possible for me. For everyone who told me that the crown was not for those who came from concrete, watch me, here it goes. Watch the concrete kid become the thing they said the concrete didn't get to bring into the rooms where crowns are distributed. Watch me walk in, watch my contribution, redefine what royalty can look like. Crown and concrete, every night and every daylight. From the concrete to the crown, every step up started further down. Crown and concrete, that's the legacy. Crown and concrete, that's what they'll say of me when it's done. Crown and concrete, built from what was real, royalty from raw.